Well, good day. So, for today's Halloween video, we're going to get very Halloweeny as we show the Claymation classic, Comedy of Horrors. So, alright, let's go.
Yeah. So, we start off with Wilshire Pig and his two assistants, Vince Pig and Sheldon Snail, as they are trying to make a get-rich-quick scheme with a money-stealing amusement ride. And the ride is going pretty disastrously good, right up until the point that it completely explodes. With that, Vince Pig goes flying into the stratosphere towards parts unknown, and Sheldon Snail finds himself at the bottom of a brand new crater. But at the bottom of this crater, Sheldon also finds the lost diary of Victor Frankenswine. Man, like this thing was buried 10 feet deep. It's like nobody wanted this thing found. Probably for good reasons. One reason being this paper diary turned Sheldon's head into a TV and started broadcasting the message of the diary. If I seen a TV form inside of a snail's head, I'm not sure if I would be amazed or concerned. That is equally fascinating and terrifying. But for Wilshire Pig, it's captivating. This diary is telling the story of Dr. Victor Frankenswine as he built himself a very formidable warrior in the form of a creature, which is in his laboratory and which is hidden quite well. However, if you are able to find his laboratory and his creature, you get to keep it, and this creature will obey you. Also, you'll get a bunch of other prizes as well, so yippee hooray! And of course, Wilshire figures, prizes? Prizes? That can mean only one thing. Lots and lots of money! So now it is Wilshire's life mission to find this secret laboratory. Luckily, the diary burned a map of how to find this lab on Sheldon's tongue. Gross! Ugh! So therefore, off Wilshire and Sheldon go to find wherever the heck this map is leading them. And where it leads them is a spooky, creepy castle. Not just any castle, a castle that comes complete with a giant green monster inside of it. What the heck is that thing? Get the heck out of there, Wilshire! No prize is worth being devoured. But sadly, it's too late. They are being dragged inside the castle. Dragged to their doom. Actually, maybe not to their doom. This green monster, however hideous it is actually very cheerful and pleasant, as she welcomes them to the Halloween party of monsters, which only has one simple rule: no mortals allowed. Mortals bad. Apparently, if a mortal is found inside, they will quickly become unmortal, I guess is a way to put it. So Wilshire goes under the guise of Dr. Jekyll, and Sheldon is therefore Mr. Hyde. Which is wrong on a number of levels. Like, for example, Jekyll and Hyde are not in two separate bodies, and also, Jekyll and Hyde are kind of living, and as we learn, they don't like that at this party. But for some reason, this ruse works. So in trying to find Frankenswine's laboratory, Wilshire and Sheldon basically take a tour around the entire castle. They wind up in the washrooms where they meet up with the swamp monster, which can't be good. They wind up in a restaurant where the waiter is a vampire, and they're seated at a table with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Man, at this point, you should really start reevaluating your plan. Do you really need to find Dr. Frankenswine's laboratory so bad that you're now winding up hanging out with famine and death? Sadly, yes. As they continue looking for this lab, they do find a lab, and And unfortunately, on the insistence of the Blob, Dr. Jekyll is to give a demonstration for the assembled science monsters, which does wind up as cute and cuddly horribly bad as you could imagine, to which, again, Wilshire and Sheldon are forced to flee, to where they run into Wilshire's deceased grandmother. Which you might think, would be kind of a good thing, but no! Granny totally narcs them out for being mortals, and as we remember, mortals bad. Mortals forbidden! So now they are as doomed could be. So now they do the only thing they can do, get the hell out of there! Which is not really an easy thing to do when you're getting chased by monsters coming out of every nook and cranny in this castle. But actually, it does somehow work out to their advantage, because through their disastrous escape, they somehow find Dr. Frankenswine's lab. Oh, this is Wilshire's lucky day. Man, if he gets Frankenswine's creature, he can use that to thwart off every monster and just escape out of there with their lives intact. And luckily, he does find Frankenswine's creature. Dr. Frankenswine's totally teeny tiny toy of a creature. Which, man, this thing is so adorable. It's like a Polly Pockets kind of a toy come to life. But why would Dr. Frankenswine make something so small? And how did he make something that small? Holy crap! Luckily, there is this elixir potion that drops onto the creature and increases its size. But that still doesn't make any sense. Why would you make this thing small just to grow it larger later? It's like you're taking extra steps to monstering. Well, the monsters that were chasing them now broke into the lab, and there's nothing really Wilshire can do with this teeny tiny creature that actually fell down the drain. Oh, you poor bastard! With no time to spare, Wilshire takes the rest of the growth potion and pours it down the drain, to which the teeny tiny Frankenswine monster grows to an exceptional size. He's given too much potion, he actually outgrows the entire castle. But it's all good for Wilshire as he starts taking control of this skyscraper of a creature. Another bot. Do you remember Vince from earlier in the special? When he went flying around the world from that explosion? Well, he's back! He's still flying around, and he started to fly around this giant monster. And he accidentally flew onto the monster's nose. Boop! But is actually really horribly bad. Well, for Wilshire anyway, because somehow this little boop on the nose starts to set the monster back to factory settings. Those teeny tiny cutesy wootsy little factory settings. This monster starts to shrink. So, I guess the day is saved? Hooray! Right? The monster party is destroyed, so is all of the horrible shenanigans going on inside of it. Wilshire and Sheldon escape that party alive, so that's pretty good. Vince is rescued, and the threat of this giant skyscraper monster with Wilshire controlling it is over. Oh, and Sheldon found a tote bag for Wilshire, so yay! A happy ending all around. And with that, that is the end of this spooky tale.
Yes! Oh man, that is an awesome Halloween special! One that does not get as much syndication as the other ones do, with Charlie Brown or Garfield or whatever. But still, man, what a fantastic Halloween special! It has all that you need in it! It has all of the classic monsters that you've seen in movies and TV. It has the gloomy and spooky setting of a haunted castle. And it has the possibility of our main characters being destroyed by these scary monsters. Which, that in of itself is really awesome, right? Especially all of the cameo references to all of these different classic movie characters. Right? Like Dr. Frankenswine. You got Dracula, you got mummies, you got everything in there. The more monsters, the better. Also, the fact of it being done in claymation, really helps give this special a different type of texture to it. The movements of things in claymation doesn't seem quite natural, so it does kind of make you feel a little odd, watching it. And the things that they can do with claymation is pretty much unlimited, so you can really see whatever you want. So well done, so well done. And of course, realistically, if Wilshire Pig wanted to get Dr. Frankenswine's monster, he could have just waited for this party to be over and then go into an empty castle after. But where is the fun in that, right? Nothing makes you feel more alive than being chased down by the Grim Reaper, I guess, eh? And with Wilshire being so pig-headed, pardon the pun, you were almost cheering against him, like you almost wanted the monsters to defeat him. But not Sheldon Snail, that guy has a heart of gold, so you actually wanted him to win, but still, Wilshire, that's gay. So if you haven't seen this one before, I would suggest you do, it really gets you into the Halloween mood. The whole aspect of claymation is so fantastic, so it's always awesome to see it. And it has a whole bunch of zaniness and comedy, which is just, fantastic. But with that, we do have a bunch of more behind-the-scenes kind of things, with claymation, with Wilshire, and other kind of stuff going on over here.
So yes, indeed, hey? Claymation Halloween! A somewhat spooky, totally fun, entertaining Halloween special. But how did this claymation special come to be? Well, let us take a quick look through the history book. Most of it started with Will Vinton, a trained filmmaker, animator, screenwriter, voice actor, and every other role needed to make a film of any sort. In the early 70s, he met up with Bob Gardner, an animator who worked predominantly with clay animation, and the two of them started practicing and working on clay projects. After that point, Will founded Will Vinton Studios in 1975, and where he coined the phrase claymation. Actually, not coined, trademarked. And from here on in, they have started making a bunch of different claymation projects, videos, movies, whatnot. Through all of that, the most famous creation that they were involved in would have been bringing the California Raisins to life. A bunch of Motown raisins that just play fantastic music. Starting off as a commercial, getting their own show, their own albums, quite a little cultural impact. So beyond doing segments for other shows like Sesame Street, or segments in movies like Return to Oz, or their own short films, they have also created a handful of television specials. The first one being in 1987 with Claymation Christmas Celebration, which is fantastic. So fantastic that it actually won a Daytime Emmy. A couple of dinosaurs introducing Christmas songs? So good. There were also two California Raisin TV specials, one in 1988, the other in 1990, until we get to 1991 with this featured Halloween special. Another special which did win another Emmy. Specifically, animator Teresa Drilling won for Outstanding Individual Achievement. Pretty darn good. And like I've been saying earlier, man, this special is fantastic. Especially with all the cameos of the different creatures and monsters that you've seen in it, right? Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the creature from the Black Lagoon, witches, clowns, whatever. So many references to this spooky realm of monsters. And allegedly, no monster greater than the main character, Wilshire Pig. To which, this is not the last time we see of Wilshire and his buddies, because Wilshire and Vince would appear next year in Claymation Easter TV special. Sheldon Snail did not come along for the ride. He was probably a little too traumatized from being in the monster's castle. I don't blame him.
But it is pretty neat to see Wilshire and Vince continuing their story of trying to make lots of money. This time at the expense of the Easter Bunny. So, yeah, I guess, not really a whole lot to talk about with this special. A pretty cool little story with a bunch of cool Halloween monsters, all done in the fantastic world of Claymation. But with other things, Claymation or Wilshire or whatnot, we will get to those when we get to those. So, with this, that, those, and the other things, I guess, that's that.
Also, if you're interested, I created my own comic book channel, 215 Comics. And currently, I have created my own cartoon series, The Adventures of the Density. And recently started a radio series featuring my newest character, Elastomorph, with more titles to come. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link up top here to that channel and some links at the end of the video. Yeah! Right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, feel free to do so. Or anything else, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, have a great day. Thanks.